Oh, 10:30.
वो वैसा एनर्जी ले रही हूँ मैं इन बिटवीन।
Okay, okay. 10:30
चबा रही हूँ।
means 10:45 is
हाँ,
dinner time.
हमारा भी ऐसा हो जाता है।
Hmm. Okay, so this is your Android studio, you know.
ये तो सुना है बट देखी नहीं थी ये मैं।
Uh-huh.
वो एप्लीकेशन डेवलपमेंट के लिए ना, एंड्रॉयड एप्लीकेशन डेवलपमेंट के लिए।
Yeah, Android application development के लिए.
सुना है उसका, लाइक बहुत सारा वो है, लाइक स्कोप है अभी करके।
Yeah, obviously, mobile is everything for today's life, na?
हम्म।
So, developing an app is obviously a great chance of employment. But soon,
मैं
you
इस लाइन
know,
में कुछ
the
कर
technology
सकती हूँ
is
क्या?
going to be
सॉरी।
changed very soon. Maybe
हम्म।
some new devices are on the way.
हम्म।
So after that, what happened to the mobile development means those person who learn only developing app
हम्म।
mm, may might face a serious problem. See, if you see that suddenly a new device completely with new technology appears in front of you, and the mobiles are going to be obsolete. Okay,
हाँ,
then what happened to all those app developers?
करेक्ट।
So maybe there is a chance, not very fast, but within 3 to 5 years, some rapid changes means some vast
हाँ।
changes in the technology is going to come.
ओह।
Okay, so this was assignment problem. Okay, last day we did up to knapsack problem.
यस, नैपशॉट
Today
प्रॉब्लम।
we will deal with assignment problem. Now, what is assignment problem? Probably you remember that assignment problem from our MFCA in the
हम्म।
first semester. The same thing. The problem is same. Means
हम्म।
you have some amount of jobs and you have some amount of person. Means the
हम्म।
worker, you may say. Okay. So you have to assign the jobs to all those persons. Okay.
हम्म।
You have to assign all those jobs to those persons so that the profit can be maximized. Now, what is profit? Profit is something like that. Say, just look at this table.
हम्म।
You are familiar with this table. Okay.
यस, यस।
So P1, P2, P3, P4, these are four persons. Okay.
हाँ,
And J1, J2, J3, J4 are the
जॉब्स टू बी असाइन्ड।
jobs. Okay.
हम्म।
Now, what these values are given? What are these values?
जॉब्स
These
असाइन्ड।
values are weightage. You may say maybe some deadline. Say suppose person P1 takes 10 days of time to complete this J1 task. Okay.
हम्म।
Or you may say like that. Person P1 take 3 rupees to complete this
द जॉब
job
असाइन्ड।
2. Something
हम्म।
like that. Okay.
हम्म।
So our job is to assign all the jobs, this J1, J2, J3, J4, to all
हम्म।
these persons, so that no jobs remains. Uh,
इनकम्प्लीट।
huh, no jobs remains. Uh,
पेंडिंग।
huh. So we have to assign every job to some persons, so
हम्म।
that the cost become minimum. Okay.
ओके।
So it comes under maximization and minimization problem. Okay.
Mm.
So if your cost becomes minimum,
Profit is maximizing.
obviously, then you maximize your profit. Okay. So in any terms, you can say that it is uh, profit maximization problem or cost minimization problem, whatever.
Mm.
So this can be solved by brute force technique. Obviously, there will be better techniques to find a
Mm.
solution of this assignment problem. But in brute force technique, we also can find a solution. Okay. So how to do that? See here, see this example.
Mm.
Say, suppose all the jobs are assigned to one person,
Mm.
first person. All the
Mm.
jobs are assigned to, so if you assign all the jobs to person one, then what will be the cost? You have to make a sum of this thing, no? 10 plus 3 plus 8 plus 9.
Mm.
So if you
Assign all the
assign
jobs.
all the jobs to person P2, then what will be the sum? 7 plus. So in that way, you will
Row
get
wise we can.
the total
Row wise the
amount,
summation we can do.
yeah, total amount of days or cost, you can say. Okay.
Mm.
So among that,
Mm.
see, this is actually one solution, means you are four solution, you can say. You are
Mm.
giving all jobs to one person,
Mm.
but you may also assign in that way that P1 jobs is sorry, P1 person is assigned with jobs maybe J2.
Mm.
Okay, P2 jobs is assigned to may J3, something like that also.
Mm.
Okay, so there may
Mm.
be many combinations. Okay,
Mm.
how you can assign these jobs to these persons. So
Mm.
among all those combinations, in brute force technique, you have to find all the combination, all possible combinations.
Mm.
So every combination will give you a total value, means a cost.
Mm. Yes.
So among that, you have to find which is the minimum. Okay,
Mm.
and you have to select that combination. Suppose
Okay.
P1 is assigned to J2, P2 is assigned to J3, P2 assigned to J3, and J4 is assigned to maybe P4. Okay, something like
Mm.
that. So
Mm.
that will be a combination. Maybe that combination will give you the least cost. So you have to
Mm.
select that combination. Okay, but
Okay.
in brute force technique, see,
Mm.
as we are human beings with natural intelligence, by looking at this, we can find out a solution with
Mm.
minimum cost or maybe very less cost by looking at this by inspection. Okay,
Mm.
but a computer program cannot do that thing now.
Yes.
So it has to check, it has to compute the cost for every
Mm.
assignment. So by combining all the possibilities, you are making the cost for every
Mm.
assignment.
Mm.
And among those assignments, you are picking up the lowest one.
Next one. Mm.
So this is the solution. They are finding out solution like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the cost is 22, means 10, 5, 2,
11,
5,
13. Mm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 5, 2, 5, means they are assigning in that diagonal wise.
Diagonal.
Then it is giving this much, 22.
Mm.
Then they are finding 2, 1, 3, 4.
Mm.
Okay, they are finding this is 17. So obviously from 22 and 17 we will pick this. This is more this is less costlier than this one, this combination.
Yes.
So in that way they are finding out every combination, and
Mm.
from all the combination they are picking up the least cost combination.
Mm.
Okay, so that is basically the technique. They are not giving any algorithm.
Mm.
They are not giving any algorithm. Okay,
Just they are discussing advantages,
yeah, yeah, that
disadvantage,
is
and how it could be
what is
solved.
the problem and how can you find
Solve that.
the solution.
Arrive to a solution.
There is no pseudocode. That was same for
Mm.
knapsack also, as I remember. Knapsack problem, in case of knapsack problem, they also did that thing. Anyway, no problem. Okay, so what will be the complexity? See, the total number of feasible solution for n is equal to 4 will be 24, which is factorial. Means you have to find every combination, na? Every combination. So how many jobs are there? 4 jobs.
Yes.
So how many combinations you can create with the 4 jobs to 4 person? That is factorial 4. So in algorithm, you have to compute all the combinations, and that is number of factorial n. Factorial n number of combinations you have to find out.
Okay.
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 You remember the combination, permutation combination formula?
Yes.
Yeah. So factorial n will be the complexity. This one, big O of factorial n, and this is huge.
Yes.
Huge means this is the second largest complexity. The most
First is
maximum
logarithm.
complexity, yeah.
Second one is
First
means
one,
first is logarithm, na?
first one is your exponential,
Oh,
means
sorry,
2 to
exponential.
the power n, 3 to the
Two
power
to the
n.
power. Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
so those are called exponential complexity. Those are
Mm.
huge, time taking. And
Mm.
after that, you have factorial.
Factorial.
Okay, see here, if you have 16 jobs,
Mm.
then your amount of means the work, the time
Terms. Mm.
is this one, means
Mm.
this number of operations, this number of combinations the algorithm
Mm.
need to make to get the uh,
Mm. Suitable
least
solution.
uh, to get the least cost combination. And that's why this is called exhaustive search, means search at its means very last end. Okay, every
Mm.
possible options it is finding. So obviously this is impractical, and they are also writing that this is impractical, exhaustive search.
Yes.
So for only 16 assignments, 16 jobs, you cannot afford this much of time.
Yes.
So obviously brute force technique is not good
Suitable.
for applying these kind of problems. We have some more efficient problems or
Mm.
algorithms techniques later. Now they are discussing some disadvantages and advantages of brute force technique. Simply the advantage is it is simple. Okay,
Mm.
it is not finding the best efficient algorithm, and we have
Mm.
no aim to get the efficient algorithm using brute force technique. So this is the simplest type of technique. That's all. And disadvantage, obviously, it is not efficient. And these two are the main points. We are not
Mm.
discussing in details for each and every point. Okay. So
Mm.
this is all about this
So
unit.
far, what we have
Yeah.
done.
After that, we have two more things.
Mm.
One is your closest pair, another is your convex hull problem.
Mm.
Closest pair is a technique,
Mm.
uh, say, in a plane.
Mm.
See, suppose you have some points. Okay, you have some points. These points are not visible. Some points like that.
Mm.
You have some points like that. Okay. So closest pair problem tells you to find two such points which
With
are
minimum
closest.
distance.
which are closest.
Hmm.
Two such points, the distance between those 2 points will be the minimum.
Minimum. Hmm.
So if we have these points,
Hmm.
okay, so we have to find out two such points which between
Whose
which the
the
distance is
distance is
minimum,
minimum.
right? So
Hmm.
how can we do that? By applying brute force technique, we can do that in this way. We have to find the distance,
Distance from one node to all other
yeah,
remaining
from
nodes.
one point. If I take this point, so I have to find the distance from this point to every point. Okay.
Hmm.
Brute force technique, you remember every possible
Yes, I
option.
remember.
Okay. So now among all these points, you are finding which one is your minimum. So
Hmm.
count that. Okay. Keep the record. After that, you are taking another point and find the
The
distance
distance from that node to
from
all other
that point
nodes.
to all other points. Okay.
Hmm.
Again, you are getting some distance, and
Hmm.
among all those distance, you are getting the least distance points.
Hmm.
Note that in that way, you can get the minimum distance points in a list. This is a
Hmm.
way. Okay.
Again, we get n number of n factorial terms, means tries, I think. No, here also.
Huh? Which one?
This tries, if you are taking like this in the brute force,
Hmm.
this may also end up with n, if n means n factorial tries.
Uh, Means how many
Yes, how many combinations we have to go with?
in total or for a
Mm.
particular element?
No, for total. Again, it will become like a factorial one only, no?
Yeah. Okay. We will discuss it. But
Hmm.
first, let us discuss what is the problem. So closest pair problem
Okay.
is something like that. You have to find out the minimum points from this list. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's go. This is actually uh, used in data science.
Okay.
Okay. So how can we find the distance between 2 points? In a geometrical problem, we can
Hmm.
find the distance between 2 points in with different
Hmm.
formulas.
Hmm.
Here in this technique, we can use the Euclidean formula.
Hmm.
This is the Euclidean formula. Okay.
Hmm.
This this is the ith point, and this is the
Hmm.
jth point. Okay. So xij xi yi is the
Hmm.
coordinate of ith point, and xj
Hmm.
yj is the coordinate of
Jth
jth
point.
point. Okay. So this is
Hmm.
the formula how you can find the distance
Fine.
between this I and jth point. Okay,
Hmm.
the formula is simple. This is very basic formula
Hmm.
of geometry.
Hmm.
So let's look into the algorithm. Look what they are trying to say. First, the input p
Hmm.
of n is greater than 2 means you must have at least 2 points now in the set.
Okay. Yes.
What is p? P is the set of points.
Points.
Okay, so the set of n points.
Hmm.
Okay, so the value of n must be
Two great
at
equal or
least 2.
greater
At least
two.
2. Okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
because you are trying to find the pair,
Hmm.
closest pair, pair of actually closest pair of points. So
Hmm.
you must have at least 2 points. This is
Yes.
very general.
Hmm.
And in this set, this is basically you can say this is an array or list, or in Python you can say this is a dictionary. Okay,
Okay.
in Java you can put this thing as an array. So these
Hmm.
are the points. You have
Hmm.
x1 y1 and x2 y2 x3 y3 maybe in an array. Okay,
Hmm.
In any way you can represent, but in algorithm you are representing these things as p1 and p2. So x1 and y1 are the coordinates for p1, x2, y2 will be the coordinates. In general, xi and yi are the
Hmm.
coordinate of ith point. Okay,
Hmm.
see, next they are having they are taking a variable d mean. This mean will goes in suffix. Okay, this will go in suffix maybe in algorithm. Okay, no, take it is d mean, means minimum distance. Okay,
Hmm.
in books you can find it like that, d mean.
Okay.
Okay, d mean is infinity. What that mean?
Hmm.
Infinity, since this is a positive infinity, so this is the most, means the maximum, na?
Ha.
This is the maximum.
Hmm.
So any distance must be less than this d mean now. Okay,
Hmm.
so this is a syntax. How can you assign that thing? But while you are writing a code for that, you obviously cannot assign an infinity to this one, na?
Hmm.
Then what you have to do? If you
Highest
want to
value.
initialize this dmin, then you have to assign with the highest value in that particular
Hmm.
range. Okay. So for I is equal to 1 to n minus 1, that means the first point to up to n minus 1th point.
Hmm.
Okay. They are not considering in array notation the 0, 2, n minus. It's not like that. The 1 means the first point, n minus 1 means the second point, the second last point.
Why they're not taking till n here?
Because if you have this one is, say, after considering all the points, suppose these two are the left alone. Okay,
Hmm.
so this is your n minus 1 point and this is your nth point.
Hmm.
So when you are considering n minus 1 point, then you have to find the distance between n minus 1 point and n point. Na? Now
Hmm.
if you consider this as the last one, then with whom you are going to find the distance, right? See here, this is your I.
Hmm.
And what is your j? J is starting from I plus 1. And they will compare
Okay,
ith
something
element.
like that in that searching and sorting we saw a similar technique here
Yeah,
also.
those selection sort.
Hmm.
You are going to compare, you are going to find the distance between ith point and jth point. Now,
Hmm.
if you run this loop up to n, then you have nothing to consider for j. No?
Correct. Hmm.
That's why it is n minus 1 is very easy to remember. And this will go up to n.
N. Okay.
This loop pattern is same like selection sort.
Hmm.
Okay. So within this loop, within this inner loop, you are calculating the distance. Okay. This
Euclidean
is the
formula.
Euclidean formula, calculating the
Hmm.
distance and comparing it with d mean.
Hmm.
If this becomes your minimum, then you are assigning it into d
Interchanging
mean.
the value, swapping the value.
Yeah. And with that, you are assigning the position,
Hmm.
means I mean and j mean. What is the value?
Hmm.
Okay. So it will iterate after completion of this loop for the first point, means
Hmm.
with the first point, it has computed all possible distances. No?
Combinations. Hmm.
So then it will go for the next point.
Hmm.
With the next point, it will again try to perform all the combinations.
Hmm.
Okay. Then after completing this loop for second time, then this
Hmm.
will look like this. Say, first it consider from this point, next
Hmm.
it consider from this point. So
Correct.
between these 2 points, it has
Hmm.
already find out which one is the minimum distance point.
Hmm.
In what variable it is storing? It is
I mean
storing,
and J mean.
yeah, n and j. Okay,
Hmm.
these two. Okay, so
Hmm.
at n, in that way, these two loop will continue, and at last it will return I mean and j mean.
Hmm.
So that will be the ith. minimum ith point and minimum jth point, among which the distance is minimum. Okay.
Okay.
Now tell me, looking at this, what will be the complexity? You are telling here factorial, na? Something like that.
Factorial, I thought.
Now tell me, what will be the complexity? This I will
I to
discuss
n
in.
summation of I to n. Then inner loop should be multiplied with the outer loop times. That will be the complexity, right?
Very good.
Is it
You remember
correct?
those. You remember those classes. But
Yes.
we will do
And
this
here
kind
we
of
have
things.
one more thing I wanted to tell. Here again in the inner loop, which statement will be executed for how many number of times?
Which one?
If is executing for how many number of for maximum number of times,
Hmm.
that statement one
Hmm.
n in that we are considering to assign it to n.
Hmm.
Is that the one correct or only till the loop one is correct?
No, see, you have to consider the innermost
Loop,
statement,
yes,
or
innermost
the
statement,
statement which is probable to execute
maximum number
maximum
of
number of
times.
times. Here you see that this may not execute. Say, suppose
Hmm.
total combination is running for 100 times, but this
Hmm.
statement may not run 100 times. Now,
Hmm.
this statement will run 100 times for sure.
Okay, I was thinking of if not, it is D. That
This
formula.
condition,
Hmm.
yeah, this condition will also run for 100 times.
Hmm.
If both this loop runs for 100 times, then
Hmm.
this condition and this statement will run for 100 times. So,
The
uh,
complexity will be calculated based on these two statements
based on
execution.
these two statements, you can take one single statement also, until and unless we have many things inside it. Okay,
Hmm.
we will consider just one
Okay.
single statement, how many
Hmm.
times it will execute. Okay,
Hmm.
it will remain same. If you consider, suppose in this loop you have 10 statements,
Hmm.
and if you consider the time for all 10 statements, so the total time will be multiplied by 10,
By 10.
and since 10 is a constant, so it will be
Constant
evaluated
could
to
be
10.
ignored.
Constant will be ignored, right? Okay. Okay. So let's see here, sum of j
Summation.
is equal to, how can I enlarge it?
It is visible now.
Sum of j is equal to I plus 1 to n,
Hmm.
and the first loop is j I is equal to
I
1 to
is
n
equal to
minus 1.
1 to n minus 1
Okay,
in two
so how can
statements.
you expand this? These two, they are bringing these two outside. Okay,
Hmm.
later they will ignore the two
Hmm.
altogether.
This
So
is the
how?
two statement only, na? That if statement and Euclidean
Yeah,
formula.
exactly. That's why this
Okay.
two is there.
Hmm.
Oh, what is this?
Selected everything. Got selected everything. Hmm.
No, this is for Windows 10 or 11. They are
That
doing
if
so
you
much
take
of
to that
things
box
without
immediately.
my permission. I
Hmm.
do not like this at all. Okay, so I want to highlight these two only, but I am not able to do that. Anyway, these two
Hmm.
these two is for that two statements.
Hmm.
Okay, now you can easily understand that by expanding this inner summation, we will get n minus I.
Yes.
Okay, now this n minus I, if I expand this one, we discussed in last class, that will be n minus 1 plus n minus 1, like that way, na?
Hmm.
So how much it will give? It will be n minus 1 into n by 2. And these two and that 2 will be cancelled. Are you getting
Hmm.
the things? This is,
Little bit. Can you show me that expansion?
yeah, we did that thing
Because since my
all for
math
this
is not
fact.
very strong, little
No,
bit I
no.
get it.
See here, what is this? This is nothing but sum of all natural numbers from 1 to
Yes.
n.
Hmm.
Okay,
N
so
to
from 1 to n, it is your n into. What?
n plus 1
N plus 1 by 2.
by 2.
Now here it is not going
These
up
two
to
and
n.
that 2.
It is
Okay.
going up to n minus 1. So n will be replaced by n minus 1.
Hmm.
So it will be n minus 1
Hmm.
and n minus 1 plus 1 na?
Yes,
By 2.
by 2.
So n minus 1 plus 1, it will be like
Get
that.
cancelled. Hmm.
So what it is, n into n minus 1
Minus 1
by
by 2.
2. These
Constant
two
and
will be,
this constant will
no,
be
these two and
cancelled.
these two will be cancelled. So ultimately n into n minus 1.
Hmm.
Okay. So it
That
will
will
be
become
your
n
n
square.
square minus
Hmm.
n. So the
Hmm.
largest value is n square.
Largest
So
value is
they
n
are putting
square.
it
So
inside
2.
it.
Time complexity will be 2.
Okay. So it is not factorial. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
You have to
After writing
identify,
that algorithm, I got it.
yeah, you can identify it by looking at these patterns.
Pseudocode.
This thing
Yes.
I will discuss, hope, in next class. Yeah, how to identify what type of complexity will be.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Oh, it's already 9 time for you.
I'm just looking. Okay, so
Think only one topic is left out for us now, right?
uh
Closest pair over. The last topic
closest
was
pair is completed. Now the thing is your convex hull. It is very easy.
ah,
Convex hull is, mm,
only 2 slides are there.
yeah, they did not give much about convex hull. Convex hull is to, I'm just quickly completing it. Okay, convex hull
Okay, okay.
is to, suppose you have this kind of, in a plane. Okay,
Hmm.
inside a plane you have some points. Okay,
Hmm.
acha, this closest pair problem is used in data science. This
Hmm.
convex hull also, to find some pattern. Means
Hmm.
in MFCA we did something related to that in your which chapter it was?
11th or 12th chapter, I think the
Yeah, last May.
last unit it was there.
Okay, where there are, anyway, I will tell later. So in convex hull, the main thing is, suppose you have some points. Okay,
Hmm.
now a shape is convex if it look like this. Okay,
Okay.
and a concave shape, you can say it will look like this. When a shape is convex,
Hmm.
any point, when should I
Hmm.
say that shape is convex? Any point, okay,
Hmm.
inside that area, if you take 2 points
Hmm.
and draw a straight line between these 2 points, the
Hmm.
line segment will completely lies inside the shape. Then that
Okay.
shape will be
Polygon.
known as convex
Hmm.
polygon. This
Hmm.
is obviously a polygon. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I have to leave now. Anyway, just
So.
just this is your convex. Why
Hmm.
this is not convex? Because if you take
It
this
will lie
line,
outside the
no,
shape.
here your job is to find out such a
Hmm.
polygon which will, which can contain
Hmm.
all the points in a boundary. Okay,
Hmm.
suppose with a rubber string you are making this area, so
Hmm.
that every point lies within that range. So
Okay.
which polygon you can draw with minimum area?
Hmm.
That is the problem. The minimum
Okay.
surrounded area that you
Hmm.
can draw with the points, okay,
Hmm.
given points, which
Hmm.
will make a convex
Hmm.
polygon. So that is the problem here. Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
you can just read these few lines. I
Yes.
hope you will remember.
We are done with
And
this. We yeah.
tomorrow we
It's not.
will discuss more about it. Okay,
Okay.
I have to leave now.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Thank you so much.